think this is spoken about enough. It's going to seem very controversial, so it is what it is. Come at me if you need to come at me. But it genuinely isn't spoken about enough. And it's because I work with so many male clients that I actually feel like they need a voice for this. And that is when a woman breaks up with a man and they have a family, normally 9 times out of 10, the custody goes to the mum. And that's a great thing. But actually, as a man, they've been left with this broken family that they never asked for. They never wanted. So I hear it all the time, the sadness in a man of not just they've lost their wife or their girlfriend or long-term partner, but they've actually lost the ability to wake up to their children every single morning, to come home and put the children to bed every single day. And so, yes, they're now in this, it could be 50%, it could be that they have them at the weekends, but they feel so lost and that they're missing out on huge, huge milestones of that child's life or of their children's life. And it's really, really heavy for them to have to come home to an empty home where they're so used to coming home and it's full of life and it's chaos and it's, craziness. And so they come home to silence most days after work. And that sadness and that emptiness and that void really, really hits a man hard. And they don't talk about it enough. As people, we should really, really recognize the impact that that is actually having on a man as a father figure. Okay? And so, yes, there could be a whole host of reasons why the relationship break down. I'm not going into that. But we do need to recognize the pain that a man goes through when didn't sign up for this. He was in it for the long term. He wanted to be a full-time dad. And without a choice, he's now being a part-time dad. Like I said, missing out on those milestones. I had a client recently who was really going into the detail and the depths of it with me of how much he really, really hates coming home of an evening because he loved his family unit and that's all he wanted. And then his wife had an affair and now this other man is now in his family unit. Like that is so, so tough to deal with as a man. And he said he doesn't even go upstairs in his home anymore when the kids aren't around because that's their floor and he doesn't need to. So the fact that he's got a whole home that is not being used and utilised, not through choice of his own, is really, really tough to come to understand and to come to terms with. So it's not just the emotions of losing the family. It's not just the emotions of the betrayal and the feelings of not being enough and what could I have done differently and why did she go out and cheat. So you're processing all of that, but you're also processing the emptiness and the void that you now have to fill on a day-to-day basis. The other thing that I find with clients is, okay, so the dad has them at the weekends. Their social life is also really, really affected because most people obviously socialise at the weekend. So when they've got their children, they can't then go out and move forward with their life and date again because most people want to date at the weekend when they've got time. And so everything is affected by a choice that wasn't their own. Ever express this enough. And so as a man, you are the weekend dad. As a man, you are the person to show up for them and have fun, don't get me wrong, because women are going to come up and go, well, I just have to do the school runs and I just have to do the day-to-day mundane stuff. But actually, there needs to be a bit more of a balance if there can be, because I'm trying to find the time to fit everything else in within the space during the week. And most of my clients are CEOs, directors, professionals, doctors. So their weekdays is really, really full on anyway. And they haven't got the time to then invest in their own self and moving forward and dating and all the other things that you need to do after a breakup. So I just thought that I'd put it out there as giving the fathers a voice that we need to express that and need to understand. As women, we need to understand the impact that has on a man, okay? And the impact that has on his worth, because he just feels like he's not enough. He feels like he's not a good enough dad, and the mental drain that has. And also to just, as a woman dating a man who has children, if that's the case, to not judge them or to not go on at them or give them grief that they're not giving you enough time. Remember what they're going through and they don't know how to express it. And if you're a man that's listening to this and it resonates and you want to be able to put things in place to process the pain of this, but then also to find the balance and rebuild yourself from this, then click the link in my bio and you'll be able to book a free call with me and we can map out some first steps and really understand your current situation to be able to get you through this and to feel worthy again.